Welcome to Race das Artes, Unimaginable Conversations. I'm Almir Rice, a Brazilian visual artist living in Lisbon. Here, we sit down with extraordinary figures from art, culture, and history for conversations you never thought possible. Enjoy the journey. My guest today is widely regarded as one of the greatest Impressionist painters of all time. His mastery of light, color, and everyday life helped transform the history of art and inspired generations of artists around the world. Please welcome Pierre-Auguste Renoir.
Thank you very much, Almir. It is a pleasure to be here. Before joining you today, I had the opportunity to watch your conversations with Claude Monet and Edgar Degas. I greatly enjoyed both discussions, especially because they allowed viewers to understand not only our paintings, but also the friendship, debates, and artistic ideas that helped shape Impressionism. I am honored to continue this remarkable series and to share a little of my own journey with your audience. Thank you for the invitation.
Renoir, it is a great pleasure to welcome you here to Race das Artes, Unimaginable Conversations. I'm glad you watched the programs with Monet and Degas, and I can already tell you that I intend to invite Camilo Pissarro as well to complete this series dedicated to the great masters of Impressionism. Where and when were you born? And at what point in your life did you realize that art would be your path?
If Camilo Pissarro accepts your invitation, I can assure you I will be watching with great interest. Thank you, Almir. I was born on February 25, 1841, in Limoges, France. My family was quite modest, and when I was still a child, we moved to Paris. As for art, I cannot say there was a single moment of discovery. From a very young age, I loved drawing and found great joy in observing people, colors, and everyday life. Later, while working as a porcelain painter, I realized that painting was not simply a job for me. It was a passion. That was when I knew art would be my life's path.
When the Impressionists first exhibited their work, many critics mocked the movement, rejected the paintings, and even questioned whether it could be called art at all. Did those attacks ever make you doubt the movement, or did they strengthen your conviction that you were changing the future of painting?
At first, the criticism was painful. We were artists, not men made of stone. But deep down, we knew we were seeing the world differently. We wanted to paint light, movement, and modern life as we experienced it, not as tradition dictated. The criticism was harsh, but it only convinced me that we were breaking new ground. History eventually proved that what was once ridiculed could become admired.
During those early years of ridicule and rejection, did you ever seriously consider abandoning the Impressionist movement and returning to a more traditional style that critics and collectors would accept?
Of course, Almir. The thought crossed my mind. There were times when money was scarce, criticism was relentless, and success seemed impossible. But painting, in the old way, would have meant betraying what I truly saw and felt. I preferred uncertainty to dishonesty in my art.
In your wildest dreams, did you ever imagine that paintings created by you and your fellow Impressionists would one day sell for extraordinary sums and be displayed in the world's most respected museums?
No, not at all. When we began, we were simply trying to paint what we believed to be true. We hoped to earn a living, of course, but we could never have imagined that our works would be treasured by museums across the world or valued at such astonishing prices. The greatest reward was not the money. It was knowing that future generations understood what we were trying to achieve.
In 1990, a version of your painting Bal du Moulin de la Galette was sold at Sotheby's in New York for $78.1 million, setting a record for your work at auction. Looking back at the years when Impressionist painting struggled to find buyers, would that figure have seemed completely unimaginable to you?
Absolutal, Almir. During much of my early career, selling paintings was difficult enough. A figure like $78 million would have been beyond anything I could have conceived. We wanted recognition, stability, and the opportunity to keep working. Numbers of that magnitude belong to a world we could not have imagined.
Tell me honestly, if you had to choose just 3 artists who, in your opinion, made the greatest contributions to the history and evolution of art, who would they be, and what makes each of them deserving of that distinction?
Of course, Almir. First, Raphael, for achieving a balance and harmony that generations of artists have admired. Second, Rembrandt, for his extraordinary understanding of light and the human soul. Third, Diego Velázquez, whose mastery of observation and technique influenced countless painters, including many of us in the 19th century.
I asked Degas this same question, and I would like to hear your opinion as well. Renoir, would you consider Claude Monet the father of Impressionism?
My dear friend Monet, the father of Impressionism? I would not put it quite that way. Monet was certainly the most relentless among us. He chased light as if it were a living thing, never satisfied, always searching for a truer impression of nature. In that sense, no one embodied the spirit of Impressionism more completely than he did. But Almir, movements are not born from one man alone. We worked together, argued together, painted side by side, and encouraged one another when few others believed in us. If Impressionism has a father, then perhaps it has several. Still, if you ask me who devoted his life most faithfully to its ideals, I would say Monet without hesitation. He was not merely part of Impressionism, he became its very symbol.
During your lifetime, you witnessed enormous changes in art and helped transform the course of painting itself. Today, artists create works using photography, digital tools, and even artificial intelligence. Did you ever imagine that art would evolve in this direction? And, in your view, can these new forms of creation possess the same artistic value and emotional depth as a painting made by the hand of an artist?
My dear friend, when I was young, many people believed that Impressionism itself was not art. We were told that our paintings were unfinished, careless, even absurd. Yet time has a way of humbling certainty. Would I have imagined photography, digital art, or machines capable of creating images? Certainly not. The world has advanced beyond anything I could have dreamed, but the tool has never been the true question. The brush was once a new tool. Paint in tubes was once a new tool. Photography itself was considered a threat to painting. What matters is not the instrument, but the heart behind it. If an artist uses a camera, a computer, or even what you call artificial intelligence to express beauty, emotion, truth, or wonder, then art remains art. The medium changes, the human desire to create does not. What would concern me is not technology, but indifference. A machine may generate an image, but only a human being can truly feel joy, longing, tenderness, love, or sorrow. Great art is born when those feelings find their way into a work and touch the soul of another person. So I would not ask whether a work was made with oil paint, photography, digital tools, or artificial intelligence. I would ask only one question: does it move me?
Our production team has selected some of your works for our audience to contemplate and enjoy. We'll take a short break, and when we return, I'd like to ask for your final reflections on art, life, and perhaps leave our viewers with a thought to carry with them. We'll be right back.
Wow. So many memories have just come flooding back. Just imagining that these paintings are now spread across the world, in museums, galleries, and private collections, fills me with great pride. My friends, before we part, Let me say how grateful I am that people still find joy in art. Paintings survive long after the painter is gone, but they truly live only when they move someone's heart. Throughout my life, I searched for beauty, not because life is always beautiful, but because beauty helps us face life's difficulties. To those who love art, I offer this advice. Slow down and look carefully at the world. Notice the light, the colors, the faces, and the small moments that others overlook. And if I may leave you with one final thought, life passes quickly, but beauty is always there for those willing to see it. Thank you, and may your days be filled with light.
And that brings us to the end of another episode. I would like to sincerely thank Renoir for joining us and sharing his art and his story. I also want to thank all of our viewers for being with us tonight. I'd also like to mention that we are currently awaiting a response to the invitation I sent via WhatsApp to Camille Pissarro. Perhaps he will be our next guest. Let's keep our fingers crossed. In the meantime, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and share this program with your friends. Your support is essential in helping this project continue to grow. I wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you very much for your company, and I'll see you again next Wednesday. Good night, and see you then.